Check out my VX100 setup. I have added this extra sight retainer module from Perseol so that I can fix rails onto it over here. It also acts like a spacer for my clip-on bipod so that it doesn't go back enough to prevent me from reloading it because it's a brake barrel gun. If you mount the bipod over here, it will hit the stock. I also mounted the front sight mount a few inches back from the tip of the barrel so that I can have my stock front sight on there when I'm not going competition shooting. This is how I set up for competition shooting minus the bipod because bipods aren't allowed in competitions. Most competitions, I mean. Oh, I also removed the hindsight for diopter sight. I also have a Gamo sling on it, which doesn't require use of any mounts or screws when you install it. You can remove the scope and put a diopter sight over here. And when you are switching sights, I just clip this thing on. These are aftermarket parts. I use this laser for zeroing between change of sights. So, like you have iron sights right now, you zero the laser to the irons. Without moving the laser, you may remove the iron and add the scope and zero the scope to the laser. It also helps when you zero the scope to the red dot sight. Here I have a scope to red dot sight mount, 20 Picatinny mount, and a small little red dot from China. Yes, I have the scope tilted 90 degrees so as to make the color dial more accessible. You know, the one which lights up the scope from the inside. I've also removed my bikini cap with flip up caps because handling these is tougher. They just hang on there and bang around stuff. Don't you hate that screw underneath your bipod, your clip on bipod? Here's how to fix it with a stud. Remove the old screw. Uh, where's the nozzle? I guess I don't have the nozzle for my thread locker. Wait a second. So here's the thread locker applied. Put the stud in, tighten it as much as you can, put it through, put the adjuster screw in, clip it on, and tighten it. Which way does it go? This way. Now, if you bought the correct lens, the screw will sit flush with the surface underneath. If it doesn't, just put some tape or putty on there and loosen it a bit and then retighten it. So there you go. Better yet, I used some black silicone. Uh, focus. Here you go. A word of advice: until the silicone dries, don't have it on your gun because it is acidic and it will release acidic vapors until it's dry. I've also noticed these being on the inside. Yes, because I removed these pins, flipped the legs towards the inside, and then reassembled it. And unlike normal factory setting bipod, this one doesn't fold on its own without pressing these. How I did that was to grind the inside lug. There's a spring loaded lug in there to be flat and not angled. Don't you hate it when you have your rifle in storage and it keeps falling over? Even with the bipod as tight as you wanted it, I mean, as you can make it happen, just print yourself one of these. What I did was scan the butt plate of the rifle and in my CAD software extruded it out. I pasted some rubbery material over here. This thing is 3D printed and the rest is MDF. To fix them together, I used hot glue, black hot glue, and you can just place the rifle butt onto this and it won't fall over.